I didn't believe the stories about the Bennington Triangle when I first drove into Vermont. Honestly, I thought it was just another creepy forest legend people use to scare tourists. But the moment I entered those woods, something felt wrong. Not dangerous at first, just wrong. The trees were too quiet. No birds, no wind. Even my footsteps sounded strange, like the forest was swallowing the sound before it could travel. I remember checking my phone, no signal, completely dead. That's when I saw the sign near the trail entrance, Glastenbury Mountain region, and underneath it, someone had scratched words into the wood. People disappear here. I laughed at it back then. I wish I hadn't. The deeper I walked into the forest, the heavier the air became, not physically, mentally. Like the woods were pressing against my thoughts. Every direction started looking the same trees, the same rocks, the same endless silence. Then I noticed something strange. I hadn't heard a single animal for nearly 20 minutes. No insects, no birds, nothing. And that's when I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, crunch, crunch, crunch. I stopped walking immediately. The footsteps stopped too. I turned around. Nothing was there, just trees. But I swear, for 1 second, I saw something move between them. Tall, dark, too fast to understand properly. That should have been enough for me to leave, but then I found the old abandoned trail marker half buried in the dirt, and carved into it was a name, Paula Weldon. That was the moment I remembered the stories. People really had vanished here without explanation, without bodies, without answers, and suddenly, the forest around me didn't feel empty anymore. It felt like something was waiting for me to realize I wasn't alone. I should have turned back the moment the forest changed, because after I found that trail marker, everything started feeling wrong. Not scary, controlled. Like something in those woods already knew where I was going. I kept walking for maybe another 10 minutes before I noticed the fog. The strange part wasn't that it appeared, it was how fast it appeared. 1 second the trees were clear, and the next second the entire forest looked drowned in gray smoke. I could barely see ahead of me. That's when I heard the whistle, a human whistle, short, sharp, somewhere deeper in the woods. At first I actually felt relieved. I thought maybe another hiker was nearby, so I shouted, "Hello?" No answer. Then the whistle came again, closer this time, and that's when I realized something terrifying. The sound wasn't echoing naturally. It felt wrong, like it wasn't traveling through the forest, like it was appearing directly beside me no matter where I moved. I started walking faster. The crunch of my boots against dead leaves became louder and louder in my head. Then I noticed something else. The forest floor had changed. There were footprints in the mud ahead of me, but they weren't animal tracks, and they weren't fully human either. They looked almost stretched, uneven, like someone walking with the wrong shape of feet. I remember staring at them when suddenly, crunch, right behind me. I spun around instantly, nothing, but the whistle came again, now extremely close. I don't know why, but every instinct in my body started screaming at me to run, so I did. I ran through the trees without even thinking about direction anymore. Branches hit my face, roots nearly dropped me to the ground, and the entire time I could hear movement keeping pace with me in the woods, not chasing, following, matching my speed perfectly. Then something happened I still can't explain. The forest suddenly went silent again, completely silent, and I realized I couldn't remember how long I had been running. 5 minutes, an hour. I looked at my phone. The battery was dead. But before it died, I know for a fact it said 4:13 p.m. Now the screen flashed briefly before shutting off completely. 6:47 p.m. Almost 3 hours gone, and I had no memory of where the time went. That's when I saw it between the trees, tall, impossible thin, standing completely motionless in the fog, watching me. And for the first time since entering the forest, I understood why people disappeared here. Because the moment I saw that figure in the fog, my body stopped feeling like mine. I couldn't move, I couldn't even breathe properly. I just stood there between the trees, too tall, too thin, too still, and the worst part, I couldn't fully focus on its face. Every time I tried to look directly at it, my vision blurred slightly, like my brain didn't want to process what I was seeing. Then it moved, not like a person, not like an animal. It tilted sideways behind a tree and somehow appeared closer without me seeing it walk. That's when I snapped out of it. I turned and ran harder than I ever have in my life. The forest around me became chaos, branches cracking, my heartbeat pounding in my ears, that whistle echoing again and again somewhere behind me. But now, it sounded excited. I finally saw lights ahead through the trees, a road. I nearly collapsed running toward it. The second my boots hit pavement, everything stopped. The whistle disappeared, the footsteps vanished. Even the forest sounds came back all at once. Crickets, wind, leaves moving, like the woods had suddenly decided to pretend nothing happened. I dropped to my knees trying to breathe. That's when headlights appeared down the road. An old pickup truck slowed beside me. The driver rolled down his window and looked terrified the moment he saw my face. Before I could even explain anything, he asked me one question. Did you hear the whistling too? Every hair on my body stood up. I asked him what he meant, and he told me something I still think about constantly. He said people around Bennington had been hearing those whistles for years, usually right before someone vanished. Then he looked past me toward the forest, and his expression changed instantly. Pure fear. I turned around. At the edges of the trees, far back in the darkness, I saw that same tall figure standing perfectly still, watching the road, watching me, and even from that distance, I could feel that it knew I had escaped. The driver slammed his foot on the gas before I even closed the truck door properly, and as we sped away, I looked back one last time. The figure was gone, but something else wasn't. The whistle. This time, coming from somewhere much closer, right outside the truck.